Bryce Hall's 21st birthday party is for sure turning a lot of heads. Here is everything we know. I'm Gabi Conti.
I'm Jana Rosenberg, and this is your 24/7 celebrity news. TikToker Bryce Hall just turned the big 2-1, and he and the Sway House boys rang it in with a massive party, which of course is facing backlash due to the pandemic, especially since Bryce has a following on social media with a platform of over 12 million followers. I almost said 2, but it's 12. This party took place in the Hollywood Hills, which is where the Sway boys recently moved to after their Bel Air neighbors could not take the noise anymore. And as Def Noodles on Twitter showed videos of the party, you can see the celebration was indeed massive and no one is wearing face masks. The party was broken up by LAPD at 4 a.m. Def Noodles told Insider that this party marks the third large gathering hosted at the Sway House over the last 4 days. I want to know if their water and power got shut off, because Mayor Garcetti said he was going to shut water and power off if he knew of like any parties with like large volumes of people going on. So,
but you know, it's so sad because I feel like that is probably the worst repercussion they will get from this, when really this behavior was so irresponsible. Of course, we all want to have big parties with our friends, and look, I had a birthday during the quarantine. I know it's really tough. I know you wish that you could be with your friends, but having something like this and people posting about it.
Yeah, the posting is just out of control.
It just makes it look like it's okay. I don't know about you, but I've never heard of Def Noodles until this story, but he is like the #1 source of all things related to Bryce Hall's 21st birthday party. He is the one who's responsible for this giant Twitter thread that has videos, has tweets. Of course, people are weighing in about how disappointed they are. And it sucks because, you know, we were really rooting for Bryce. Obviously, we don't condone cancel culture here at Hollywire. That's not what we're saying.
Right.
But we do think that he deserves to be called out on his actions. And I can't believe that this happened so soon after his arrest.
I know.
You would think that he would think.
I mean, I feel like we said it over the last couple months or so. We were like, Bryce Hall is really on the up and up. He's just like, it seems like he was growing up a little. He was, you know, trying to be in a relationship with Addison, which we will get more into. And now, I mean, over the last couple of weeks, between the drama between him and Addison, his own, you know, party animal behavior, I know it's like totally his brand and whatnot, and now this, like, I get it was his 21st birthday, and I remember my 21st birthday, and it was like also very lit, but you know what? There's other people turning 21 that are not having ragers during a global pandemic.
Well, and also the 21st birthday, it marks the time when you could legally drink in America. But we do know Bryce has drank before he was 21, so it's really not that big of a deal. I personally had a similar situation. I had fake IDs, you know, in college. So my 21st birthday was like technically my 25th birthday, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it felt very anticlimactic for me, and just especially that there's a pandemic. And it's not just the pandemic. It's the fact that he has a platform. He has so much influence.
Yeah.
Most of his followers are younger. They're going to see something like this, and then how are you going to tell his followers that it's not okay to have a party because they see their idol doing it?
Exactly. I totally agree with you. I mean, this is like the same kind of situation we see with like Jake Paul. It's like you have all of these kids that want to be you. Literally, they want to do what you do for a living. And then things like this happen, and you're just like, where's the line between influencer and like bad influence?
Bad influence,
you know?
Exactly. And I don't really think that Garcetti is doing enough, because I don't, you know, I honestly think turning off your water and power, they're just going to go to another house that has water and power. Like that is not as big of a consequence. I think when things like this happen, there should be stronger repercussions. Repercussions like losing brand dealerships. Repercussions like, you know, really like, you know, getting in trouble for something like this.
I mean, I can't imagine a lot of brands, I think after like seeing this, it's just seeing all the video footage surfaced on social media, like no matter who you are, we are fans of Bryce Hall. We love him.
We're rooting for him. That's the heartbreaking thing
but
about this.
it is hard, like it's hard to see all these and we're like, are we supposed to be like, yeah, like it's just hard because we want to do the right thing, you know?
Right.
So yeah, that's that. I think there's way more to the story that we want to talk about, including Addison Rae, which we know you guys all want to hear about.
Well, because I mean, Addison noticeably wasn't there.
Yes.
And we do think that Addison is the positive influence on Bryce, which kind of explains why something like this had happened with not. I mean, it seems like Addison's like, I don't condone it. That's why she wasn't there. And I wonder if, you know, if she was there, if they were together, if he would be doing something like this.
I mean, I think if they had gotten serious, this party would have looked completely different. I think we would have seen images on social media, but it would have been a different atmosphere. It would not have been him pouring shots for 100 people, all these videos of all these random girls there. Like, it just looked like a ratchet ball of a party, which is, you know, to each their own. But again, bad influence, bad timing. Know your audience, and it's just not great.
It's not great. So the party did have some celebrity guests. There was Harry Jowsey from Netflix Too Hot to Handle, as well as strippers who were dressed up as police officers and gave Bryce a lap dance. But the actual cops did not show up until 4 a.m. Police, a lot of people are upset about this party because not only are they gatherings currently banned in Los Angeles, but new cases are being driven by younger people who are less likely to be seriously affected by the virus, but who can easily pass the virus on to older, more vulnerable people who can seriously get harmed by COVID. And I'm seeing some comments here as we're talking about this being like, you guys are standing next to each other and there's a party. It's different. Parties are illegal. We are members of the press. What we're doing, this is our job, and we actually are legal to be here. It is illegal to have a party with 100 people not wearing face masks in a small area that's currently should be not happening in Los Angeles, but there's not enough repercussions for it.
There's definitely not. Can we move on to the male police officer strippers at Bryce Hall's birthday party? Okay, I have so many questions. Let's start with question number one. Why aren't these females? Like, I'm just saying, I think Bryce Hall swings for our team, as far as we all know.
As far as we know.
Totally cool if he doesn't, but I'm just
straight.
confused because all of my straight male friends want female strippers at their birthday. So that's number one.
Well, maybe they were trying, it could have been that they thought the male police strippers were more convincing as looking like police officers. Which is sad because there are lady cops, that is a thing. Or it could also have been maybe kind of like a prank, which is also not cool because, like, what is that saying about homosexuality?
Right, no, I agree.
It's kind of like, so I don't know. There were all sorts of problems with this party, and the police officers were definitely one of them. I also think it is insane that the police strippers showed off at the party much far before the actual police officers showed up to the party. So it's kind of like, what, Los Angeles? I mean, what is going on?
My second question is, you can hire male strippers during COVID, but you can't go to work? I'm just like, what is going on?
Yeah, so are strippers considered to be an essential service? Well, no, I think strip clubs are closed. Actually, I read a report that there is such thing as a socially distanced strip club. So
no way.
Yes, there's actually a really great article.
Okay, I'm here for that.
About this, and it's done kind of similar to how drive-in movie theaters are.
Yeah.
So there's no contact. They wear masks.
Yeah.
And they dance for you.
Girls gotta eat, you know?
Girls
so
gotta
it's
eat.
like, it's cool. Like, I think that's fine.
But this was definitely a contact stripper. The stripper was giving him a lap dance.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Also, Tik Tok Room is pointing out there's some strange marks on Bryce Hall that we're not really sure if it's like a skin thing or like what is going on with
Looks
him.
like he got beat up on his birthday.
It does look like he got beat up on his birthday. I don't know.
Like, actually beat up. Like it doesn't look like that was like fun for him.
Yeah.
Also, this just crossed my mind. I just wonder about the male strippers again. I'm sorry. I just need to talk about this. Do you think, Addison Rae was not at his party.
Yeah.
That being said, remember when the video surfaced of that girl giving him a lap dance, pissed the entire internet off, including Addison Rae. We all heard about it. So I'm wondering if he's still trying to be with Addison. Addison's clearly not really here for it.
Okay.
She was not at his birthday party. But they were male. So he was like, it's chill because it was funny, but there was no girls all over me. You know what I mean?
I could see them doing that, and I could also see the Sway Boys getting male strippers specifically for that to make
funny.
it seem funny and okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. This was, I have no idea, but we are holding out hope that Bryce and Addison do get back together.
Definitely.
But I definitely feel like on their journey of being Bradison, if that will ever be a thing, this was definitely a point down in going into that direction or a step back.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see what will happen if they'll recover from this. There also were lists of the people that were at the party circulating, and then some influencers were like, I'm not even in town, and someone posted that. So I would say we do know for sure Bryce was at this party. We do know for sure there were some Sway Boys at the party, but I would also be quick to not accuse people for being at this party unless they have admitted to it or
Definitely.
whatever.
Or shamelessly posting videos of it all over the internet.
Yeah. Someone said he didn't want strippers because he cares for Addison so much.
We hope so.
We hope so.
That's what we want, you guys. We're still here for the Bradison trip.
Yeah.
I just want.
We're hearing Nick Bean is the one who pranked him.
Oh, that's
perhaps
funny.
it was a prank.
Yeah.
Male strippers.
I just want. This is my thing with Bradison.
Yeah, here's the video, as you can see.
Yes.
Wow.
He looks hot.
He
The
does
male
look
stripper
hot.
looks hot. Anyways, I just want Bryce to treat Addison well, and I want him to like worship the ground she walks on, because I feel like she's so great and like sweet, and like you can tell like by her not really fully engaging in this whole party thing. I know she's been asked about it by paparazzi. She's just so mature. She's so above all this like BS. And I think Bryce needs to grow up if he wants to be with her. You know?
I agree, and so maybe that's really what this is right now. Is that he decided he doesn't want to grow up. He wants to like enjoy his 21 fun and be a bro. In which case, like, do it. But I think he does have some growing up to do if he wants to be with Addison. And I'm proud of Addison for not. Not being there. You know what I mean? I think her not being there is such a statement without saying anything about being like, look, if you want to be with me, you have to like, keep up to what my standards are. And that is, I do not agree with this. And who knows, perhaps, I'm sure he was planning this party for a while, and perhaps that's another reason why we haven't seen Bryce and Addison together, because we haven't seen them. They've both been interviewed about each other. They both said that they're friends and just friends. That's what we've been hearing. But they haven't been photographed together in a minute. I want to say it's been at least a week, maybe 2 weeks since they were photographed together.
It feels like more, like.
I think the last time I saw them, and correct me if I'm wrong, was a Hollywood Fix had a video of the two of them attending. It looked like they were going to brunch at the W Hotel in Westwood. And that looked like the last time they were photographed together or captured together, to my knowledge. And this, I believe, was not this last weekend, but the weekend, the weekend before that. So I think that was the last time they were seen together.
My last thing I saw on the internet was, I have to look for that.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Was the Hollywood Fix video where they walk by each other on Melrose. You guys know what I'm talking about, because they're like.
Okay, so
she's like, oh, what a coincidence.
Okay, you're right. So that video was after the Westwood one.
Oh, it was.
It was.
Okay, so I feel like that was it. And then she was like, peace, boy, bye.
Yeah. So maybe that was it. Maybe that was Addison saying bye, boy, to Bryce. But we are holding out for these two. I see you guys saying Bradison for life, and we definitely agree. We love these two together. We can't get enough of them. But I also think you guys have to agree that like Bryce Hall has some growing up to do, and this behavior is not okay, people.
I mean, especially like it would be fine if there wasn't a global pandemic. Like,
yes,
do what you want to do. We're speaking about, we're not judging him for the party. We're just judging him for like it's bad timing.
And you know what? I've seen, by the way, I've also seen socially distant parties. And if he had done that, I would have been less. I don't think he would be getting this backlash.
It's so hard to do. I don't know if I believe in social distance parties.
But I've seen people like they're at events. They have their masks on.
Oh yeah,
they're at a distance. Yeah. I mean, we see them all the time. To me, them going to Saddle Ranch and sitting together, like, it's not as bad. And they're wearing their masks when they're at Saddle Ranch. Like, to me, that's not as bad as this is. Like, this is much more of a statement, and I think it's not. It's very irresponsible of them.
I totally agree with you
there.
Really,
very much so.
Twitter, for one, is definitely pissed about this party, as one person tweeted, whatever brand deals, sponsorships, etc., should all be revoked. Their online platform for Twitter, Insta, TikTok, Triller, YouTube, etc. should all be banned. These guys don't need the platform they were given. While another person added, my family's on the front lines and has been for months, risking their lives, working overtime, and these kids just party like nothing is wrong. These kids shouldn't be famous, and honestly, I don't know why they are all famous in the first place. As we report this, it doesn't seem like Bryce and the Sway Boys are facing any consequences for this party, but the mayor has threatened to shut down the power and water of houses that are throwing parties, so that might happen to the Sway Boys' Hollywood Hills home. I have a feeling that sooner or later, we're going to get news that Mayor Garcetti goes up there himself, and he's like, this is done.
I don't know. I wouldn't. I cannot imagine there. I wish that would be my dream mayor, but I don't think that's really what our mayor does or would do. I did think it was cool also looking at other influencers who also kind of like spoke out about Bryce and his action. Tyler Oakley had a tweet about the responsibility of being an influencer. Tyler Oakley has so many followers on YouTube, and he's like, look, I'm at home, I'm not having parties, and like you have so much responsibility. Such a young audience doing something like this is just not cool at all. And so I think that's really cool that he is speaking out. I don't believe into like the whole thing like that he doesn't deserve to be famous and everything should be taken away from him. I don't think that's it, but I do think that there needs to be some repercussions for this action.
I agree. I mean, and we say this a lot. We're like, these kids are so young, they're still growing, they're still learning, and it is hard to do in the public eye. I mean, I can't imagine going through everything that they go through with millions of people watching me all the time. It's almost so much pressure to where you're like, I just can't even deal with this. Like, I just think, you know what I mean? So you kind of go against what you should be doing. But Bryce Hall just turned 21. We're talking about his 21st birthday party.
Right.
That's an age where you really start to be like, okay, now everything like I am held fully accountable for.
Yes,
So,
I definitely think it's legal for you to drink in America, so it's definitely like you were legally an adult at this age. I do think that it's a very big responsibility to be 21 years old, and so hopefully he will take this as a message that he should be more responsible with other areas in his life. Because this was just so silly. This thing was really silly, and we were rooting for Bryce, and we can't believe that he kind of.
I mean, especially after all, like I'm bringing up Jake Paul again, but especially after all of that broke the news.
And it's like, don't you know, like if you have a party, it's gonna get filmed, and you're gonna get backlash. And so and like Jake Paul like faced such backlash for that. I just don't understand. I mean, but at the same time, we know Bryce idolizes Jake Paul, so is this kind of maybe him being like, trying to be like Jake Paul, and then like, well, we saw how that ended. What's next, Bryce? Like, the feds come into your home with the.
You can be like the fun party guy. I think there's just you need to know your limits and like know how to be respectful of others, and
and not get in trouble with the law, and just like especially when you have such a young impressionable audience. I think that's the biggest issue here.
I mean, also it's so scary having that many people come to your party. Like, I don't know how much security was there. I'm sure he had like someone at the door monitoring who's in there, but like someone brings a good friend and then they like find something and video it and bring it to the police. Like, when you are famous, the stakes are so much higher to get in trouble.
Well, and you know that that's where these videos were coming from. These videos weren't coming from the actual like sway. It wasn't coming from like our top tier like Tik Tokers.
Right.
They were not the ones taking these videos. These videos were probably taken of a friend, which also, so I guess you could also say, well, is the repercussion the backlash that he's getting because that is what happens when you have a huge party and you expect that no one's going to take videos or whatever, but it's the friend of the friend of the friend who outs you on this. So I guess in a way he kind of did get his punishment. The thing that's upsetting me is that he recently was interviewed. The Hollywood Fix tried to catch up with him. He was super tight-lipped. Really? He wasn't apologetic. I feel like if you do something like this, you owe the public an apology.
Definitely, or like saying something that's like, look, I'm an advocate for the health of our entire community, our entire global community, But unfortunately, I don't think he's going to address this at all. I think he's just going to wait till this goes under the water, As far as Addison, I'm very interested to see if she says anything about the party. She's like really good with the paparazzi. She's
She's so kind.
letting them know.
She's so kind.
She's super kind. So.
Bryce used to be like that, but a recent video told a different story. And also, you guys might be wondering, so as we just discussed earlier, where was Addison Rae during this party? Well, she was at dinner at Catch with her parents around the same time that the party was happening. She was celebrating the launch of her new makeup line. The Hollywood Fix was there, and of course, when they asked Addison what is going on with her and Bryce, she said that they're just friends and they are both focusing on themselves right now. The Hollywood Fix then tried to catch up with Bryce as he was leaving lunch at Craig's and then picking up some goodies at MedMen, a dispensary in West Hollywood. Bryce, who usually is super friendly and buddy-buddy with the Hollywood Fix guy, I mean, the last time we saw them together, he was offering to give him merch, was super cold and super tight-lipped, and he would not answer any questions about the party. And his manager also was with him, and they were driving around in a Triller van, and they told the Hollywood Fix to stay safe, and the only thing he would say is stay safe, and when the guy said happy birthday, he said thanks. So he was very quiet, which is definitely not what we're used to for Bryce Hall, but it also could be a legality thing, like perhaps his lawyer is like, you cannot make any comments.
You're in hot water now, baby boy.
Like, don't say, especially after the arrest. So that could also be what is happening. With that, and one of you said that actually that Addison and Bryce were seen at the Triller house 5 days ago.
Oh wow!
So that's really cool. We haven't seen that picture, but if you guys have that, please send it to us because we'd love to see it.
So there's a Triller house.
There is. Well, I think they're saying that the Hollywood Hills house is the Triller house because the Sway is kind of like there's like officially 3 members and they're all kind of transitioning over to Triller, even though they're staying on TikTok. So I think when they say the Triller house, they're referring to that Hollywood Hills house.
Interesting. Okay, and that's the house that he had this major party
That's
at.
where the major party.
I mean, it's it's also crazy. It's not only Bryce Hall to blame here, though. I have to say, he had the party, but it's like, other influencers like Tana Mojo and like I know the Lopez brothers were there. All his Sway boys, like all of these people together. We think Bryce has a big following. Imagine all of them together, and they're all making this like okay,
And not to mention his manager. I know his manager is not that much older than Bryce, but still, like you're his manager. That's your job is to like keep your talent and client in line. And the manager was with Bryce as he was being interviewed by Hollywood. Hollywood Fix was trying to interview him. Yeah. But that definitely is responsibility. They also appeared that there were adults at this party, not just 21-year-olds. So it's their responsibility too. I I mean, I get it. Like Los Angeles, this is a city where it's like you're used to the Hollywood Hills parties. You're used to these like big events, and people feel robbed, and perhaps Bryce felt robbed that it's his 21st birthday and he was expecting this big blowout, and he's had such an incredible year. So shouldn't he be able to celebrate this incredible year? So I understand where the motivation is coming from, but I just don't think he should have acted on it.
I agree with you. I totally, that's so true. I mean, I feel for him too. Like your birthday, Gabi had a birthday, and like you want to celebrate it. I get it. But again, like we said, there's so many people that are turning 21 in the world, and they're not throwing major ragers because it's kind of rude,
They can't. Yeah.
But again, look, not okay. We're kind of disappointed, but we love Bryce. We're rooting for him in his career always.
We always are.
We are. Like I think he's a super talented content creator.
Yep.
And I'm just kind of excited to see him like grow up a little, and he's gonna be. I think he'll be very successful if he can just keep it in line.
Keep it
Come
in line,
on, Bryce.
and just don't get backlash anymore. Yeah. But we do love him. Yeah. So I'm just curious what you guys think about the situation.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Do you guys think Bryce should get in trouble for this party, or you think we should, loosen up because of his 21st? Let us know your thoughts. I'm Jana Rosenberg.
And I'm Gabi Conti, and follow us at Hollywire for your 24/7 celebrity news.